It's quite a bit more expensive than what's already out there. It's also quite a bit slower because you saw how it thinks through the process. So this OpenAI o1 mini model is supposed to offset some of that, bring the cost down, and it's quite a bit faster than the preview model. We can see here the o1 mini model took 9 seconds. The o1 preview model, as of me talking right now, is already at 30 seconds here in this comparison. But I really like this tweet from Jim Fan here, where he breaks it down a little bit more clearly about what's happening. And I especially like this graphic that he shared right here, where most large language models spend most of the time and money on pre-training. So they get a wide amount of data from all over the web. They pretty much scrape everything, pre-train that into their model. Then they do what's called post-training, which is a little bit more like fine-tuning and putting up guardrails and telling the model how to respond. And then inference is a teeny tiny sliver of what happens when you use these AI models. Inference being when you give it a prompt and it gives you a response, where GPT-4o is really fast at inference. You give it a question, it responds within 3 seconds. It appears they're spending less time on the pre-training, the scraping every possible thing it can possibly get, spending roughly the same amount of time on post-training, sort of dialing it in, fine-tuning it, and then inference, where you actually give it the prompt and receive your response back, is where a lot more time is being spent. So theoretically, we should be able to get new, more improved models being released even quicker because less time is being spent on pre-training and more of that time might be shifting to the inference phase when you actually prompt it. Companies like OpenAI are actively slowing down the inference phase so that they can minimize the most expensive part, which is the pre-training phase. Now, this is a super oversimplification. I will link up to all of the articles, all of the posts, all of the tweets I've mentioned in this video below so you can dive a little bit deeper. But I do want to address one thing here that my buddy David Shapiro says. He mentioned that Claude Sonnet 3.5 can do Strawberry with the right prompting. There's no secret sauce. We can synthesize the data with any model. Basically, the point that he's making here is that chain of thought prompting has been around for a while. You can use chain of thought prompting in any large language model to basically tell it to think through step by step and give it additional prompts to get to the right conclusion. All OpenAI is doing is putting all of that stuff in sort of like the system prompt and telling it to think it through step by step and basically look at its own response, evaluate its response, update its response based on its own evaluation, and continue to do that. In the past, you would just do that through additional prompting. Now, OpenAI is doing that for you immediately after the prompt. But that's the biggest news of the week.